Hi everyone, it's Dee. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how my experience has been so far having thicker locks, because when I started my locks I had just over 200 and they were all really small. What looked like mini twist, which is how I started my locks, two-strand twist, they thickened up but they were still tiny. So people used to ask me if I had sister locks or micro locks because all of them were this size. And as time went on, because I had interlocked my hair and whatnot, the hair in my crown area, the hair that was softer and looser texture, it was thinning at the roots. And one of my locks looked like it was at the point where it was going to snap off, and I panicked. And I went to a loctician to get my locks combined. So this area was the most urgent, and this area is the part I had taken care of. And because it was so expensive, maybe too expensive, I didn't do my entire head. I still have these locks in the back that are small, but the majority of my locks are thick, and when you see me, you think I have relatively thick locks, and thick hair too. The only thing I want to say is I steered away from thick locks when I started mine. I had never really liked them on women because I thought it was less versatile and less feminine looking, but then once they were combined, I absolutely loved them. The first thing that popped into my head is that when I retwisted my hair by myself, even if I wasn't retwisting, even if I was like separating them, like popping them after a shower, it was going to be less work. It was going to be faster. And the thing I like even more, which I'm going to have a hard time articulating, is that I'm a very, I wouldn't say feminine person, but I'm a very, if you look at my frame, I have a really small frame. I have a really laid back, easygoing, quiet personality. I have a really long face and long neck. So to have small locks like that kind of even look like braids, that kind of pushed me into the background a little bit more. I feel like thicker locks add like a contrast to me and make me look a little bit edgier. And that might sound a little corny or lame, but that's another reason I like them. I can't really... There are people out there, some of them have locks, and they still don't like thick locks. So it's a little bit of, a turn-off when I hear stuff like that. There are locticians out there that prefer a really manicured look, and there are lock wearers that prefer a really manicured look, and they look at other people's locks and they think that they're too thick. There are people with locks, especially freeform locks, a lot thicker than mine. But if I had to take it back, if you asked me, if your hair didn't thin, would you have kept your small locks instead of having the thick locks you have now? Because my hair right now, it's uneven. Thick in the front, small in the back. Not all my locks are the same size. I would prefer the way I look now to the way I looked back then. I feel like my locks are more locks than braids or a style or something that has to be extremely manicured, extremely kept up, and they're not really extremely fragile anymore. The hair in the back is strong because it was a kinkier texture. It wasn't curly or soft. So I don't really worry too much about these ones breaking, and the part is a good size for the actual locks back here. The hair in the front, I still struggle sometimes because I do have a few small locks that are kind of hidden, mixed in with the thick locks. But I really like the size of my locks, and if I had to start my hair all over, I would have kept them thick. I wouldn't have tried to break each parting in half to make smaller locks. And that's maybe just a tip for anyone who's having a little bit of a trouble deciding what size to start their locks. Don't be afraid of having thick locks. I was afraid. I had all these ideas in my head, but once I actually got thick locks, I ended up loving them. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.